Hi everyone, I'm Craig and I'm going to be responding to Brandon here. Going to explain why I agree and disagree with a few of his opinions about assault style weapon bans. So, just first off, I'm going to start stating my opinion. Don't like gun violence either. Not a fan of it at all. Don't think we need to get rid of all guns though. I do own guns myself. Mainly assault style weapons that we need to focus on. Something Brandon mentions was how, handguns are the main cause of violence. Handguns are the main cause of homicides in the U.S. Assault style weapons are the ones that are used in mass shootings, though. If you look at Uvalde, Las Vegas, Sandy Hook, all those shootings, there was AR-15s used, and they had over a dozen people killed. My hometown, actually, I'm going to use it as an example. It had a shooting back in over Memorial Weekend, Red River, New Mexico. Those were just pistols, and it was gang violence. Only 3 people were killed versus a dozen people at the other shootings. There's a little bit of a difference there. And then something Brandon also mentions is, not owning guns erodes our ability to bear arms. And I can agree with that. Yes, it's true, but all guns aren't the problem. The problem is AR-15s and assault-style weapons. If we look at it, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, trying to think, Japan, Norway. Those are all countries where they implemented stronger laws, and buyback programs. And with them, homicides, suicides, all that kind of stuff dropped. So, you got to work for it in those countries. You can still own a gun, but again, you got to go through classes. You got to go through more rigorous background checks, stuff like that. You got to work for it to own a gun there. And I think that's fine. So, stronger laws and all that. Something Brandon also mentions, just eroding our ability to bear arms. We use them for home defense. And yes, that's true, but the only time you're going to need an AR-15 for home defense is if you got a gang of 20 people invading your home. Realistically, pistol or shotgun is all you're going to need, in home defense. An AR-15 style assault weapon is a little overkill for home defense. He mentioned how education at an early age is great. I agree with that. Me, personally, I went through gun education, when I was a kid for hunting and stuff like that. Media, he mentions, how the media is typically against guns, and yes, and they blow them out of proportion. If you look at a media bias chart, Fox is going to be your only conservative outlet. All the others, they're either liberal or they skew a little liberal. Something he mentions was mental health, and yes, we should support those outlets. There's nothing wrong with that. If you look at it, the issues are on the rise. 13% 13% rise in the last 10 years by the World Health Organization. 2/5 of kids nowadays, they feel helpless, and 1/5 have even considered suicide, and that's a statistic from the National Institute of Health. So in conclusion, assault-style weapons are really the dangerous ones out there. And, we could put laws in place. There's evidence that laws help. And mental health issues are on the rise, so we need to really focus on those as well.